Hey everyone, it's March 6th, 2013. It's 8 o'clock. We're live on Affezi.com for the Affezi dating experience. Got Bobby in Arizona.
Hello.
Bobby, how's it going?
It's wonderful. It's peachy.
Peachy, huh?
Yeah.
That good?
Yeah, it's that good.
Life is good, huh?
Life is fat.
Fat as
Whatever
in
that means.
obese or fat as in like doing well?
CH. THAT.
Nice.
Fat.
Nice. How are things going?
You're going good, dude.
Pretty well?
Yeah.
Very nice.
It's going good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You do anything this weekend? Anything fun?
No? I don't think so, no.
No? You didn't study the Bible or anything?
I did.
How did that go?
I didn't study the Bible. I can't even make that shit up.
I thought you were religious.
No.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
Yep. You are mistaken.
Honest mistake.
Sure. So what's up, dude? What's going on?
Not much. Did you have
How's
a
California?
it's cool. California, nice weather, lots of traffic, people in a hurry that don't know where they're going. The usual.
At least they're not crashing into each other. Out here, people don't know how to drive.
Yeah. Are there a lot of accidents out there?
Yes,
Oh.
tons.
Uh-oh.
That's the only way there's traffic around here is when people crash.
Uh-huh.
Because there's, enough freeways.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that sounds
yeah,
like fun.
I guess.
Did you have a chance to fill out the member poll this week about how much information you give out to your friends or I don't know people you may or may not know about people you're seeing or you're dating or stuff like that?
Yeah, I did.
Uh,
And I don't kiss and tell, and it's no one's business. Those are my two answers.
okay.
We
What
need
about
multiple choice.
what about if they ask you
I don't tell them. I don't give a shit if they ask or not.
like, "Hey Bobby, who are you doing it with?"
Your mom?
Oh
That's
no,
my answer.
no. Okay, that's why I never asked that question.
Yeah. I don't tell people. It's none of their business. If I wanted to, I would.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna ask somebody else who they're banging.
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah, maybe certain people
Yeah. Yeah. There
that
we
I share
go.
that information with.
There we go. No.
But no, for the most part, I don't tell anybody anything.
Yeah.
So yeah. What about you?
I usually keep my mouth shut unless I know the person, and there are very few people I actually tell that kind of stuff to. But I don't tell them everything. I mean,
You don't get in details.
not really. Not with specific people. If it's a general thing, I'm like, oh yeah, I've done that or I've seen that or whatever the case is. But as far as naming names and saying what we did, for the most part, I don't. But just depends.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Try not to.
Have you ever had a girl you've met like ask you about things you've done or what girls you're banging?
Uh, it's
Has
more
that
so,
ever come up on a date?
not on a date. Once I get to know them, it's usually more like, oh, you're not being with anyone else. You're not seeing anyone else. Or you're not having sex with anyone else. But usually it's not like, oh, have you done this or done that? Because I don't know. I don't run into that a lot.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Do you?
I have girls ask me that.
What what specific? Like, oh, have you ever gotten a foot job or
Yeah.
do you
A foot
like
job, really?
do you like nylons?
No, I've had girls ask me that kind of shit. Like, they're like, "Oh, when's the last time you had sex?" Obviously, and
No,
like, "What kind of sex did you have, or what'd you do?"
really? They want to
And
know
I just
that
give,
much?
yeah, dude. Girls like that kind of shit.
Uh,
Some of them,
no, just some of them. They tell me
classless. All right, go ahead.
they tell me that what they won't do.
Yeah, they're
That's
full of shit.
that's well, usually what they won't do is pretty understandable.
Okay.
I get it.
I want to be a fly in the room of that conversation.
It's not that bad. I mean, I don't know. We're adults, so I don't shy away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think most what were most of the answers? I think they were Mostly it's no one's business, or like you said, people don't kiss and tell. I mean, for me, it's if I say stuff like that, it's reserved for a few people that actually know me.
Yeah.
Because if I mouthed off, or just like anyone in general, it's gonna people get the wrong idea and they think you're a certain way and you're really not. And it's just all right. Now I have to see you again, and now I have to explain what I did, and just it's no one else's business.
Yeah. Even when I tell people stuff, I don't tell them the whole truth.
Yeah, exactly.
I keep details to myself.
Yeah, not everyone needs to know everything,
Hell no.
especially about that.
Stay out of my circle, my bubble.
Yeah, your bone bubble.
I've got my space,
Yeah,
but whatever.
yeah. I don't know. But what were you talking about earlier about was it the breaks or something, or taking vacations
Oh
or
yeah, taking a vacations when you know you need to take a break.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had to take a break and just go on vacation?
Yeah, recently. I didn't take a full vacation though. It was like around Thanksgiving. I had to take a few days off and just clear my head and stuff because I was getting really stressed out.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I really don't. I try to deal with my stress in a productive way, but that's usually when I need to get away.
Yeah. Taking vacations are good. I've done it. When you actually go on a vacation,
Yeah,
and especially when you're hitting your boiling point where you're just not stressed out, but mainly annoyed,
yeah,
and it kind of refreshes you, and you get out of it. And whenever you're out of a situation, you can see it from a different perspective, really.
yeah,
So, but,
yeah.
yep.
Do you think that applies to just your work situation or your personal life, or do you think that applies to if you're with someone, like if you have a girlfriend or something, or a wife, and you've been together a long time? Don't do you feel like you have to take breaks and you have to get away?
Oh yeah. When you say breaks, do you mean break up or get away?
Both.
As far as taking a break, if I'm in a relationship and I have to take a break, then it's over.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it's good to go on away or go away on a weekend, and you kind of go have fun, let loose, and it usually makes it okay.
Yeah.
But as far as taking breaks from a relationship or a girl, I don't think that's productive. I
Uh,
just end it.
so you've never just been like, okay, I need to go handle my business and clear my head for a week or two, and then I'll talk to you in a week or two.
Yeah, when I was like 16 in high school, but there's no reason to. I mean, what are you really gonna do over those 2 weeks? You're gonna be yourself. You're gonna relax.
Uh
You're
huh.
not gonna have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Those are all reasons why not to be in a relationship.
Uh huh.
So, yeah. But as far as taking breaks away from family, hell yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
take those all the time.
You need those too.
Yeah, because you have to deal with your family.
Yeah, and that's different though. There's not so much pressure on you as if you were with someone, and then you're not forced, but you have to do certain things and I don't know, live up to certain standards, I guess. And
Yeah.
sometimes you're just like, I gotta do my own thing for a little bit.
Well, it goes back to like your own space, being able to do what you want.
Yeah,
You know. But
yeah. Do you feel like people impede on your space when you're with them? Like if you're dating someone for a while, do you think they get too comfortable and then they want you to do certain things they want you to change and they're just like, oh well, you got to start doing this or doing that? I mean,
yeah, I mean, when a girl, most girls want to change a guy. Not most girls, but a lot of girls want to change a guy.
uh-huh.
And then by wanting to change a guy, they want to consume themselves with him and be around him 24/7.
Yeah,
And I can't stand that. It's like, let me still be myself. Just because we're in a relationship, I understand we're in a relationship, but I'm still myself.
yeah.
The whole we become one, I don't get.
I think that comes at a certain point. Not one per se. I don't know, that part is, I don't know. Maybe that's after you've been with someone for a long time. Then it makes sense. But yeah, I get what you're saying because I'm the same way. I'm just like, well, I'm this is me. Take it or leave it. That's it. There's not a lot of gray area in that.
Yeah, I just don't like girls that try to change guys.
Yeah, and a lot of guys try to change women too. They're just like, you can't go out with your friends. Got to be with me, and like, there's that control part too, where guys just want to dominate who they're with.
Yeah, well, that's like the controlling guy who wants to control a situation and not let a girl go out on go. God damn, I can't talk. Can't go out on her own.
Uh huh.
Sorry, I'm trying to type and talk here. It's not working. But yeah, guys are controlling. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, I don't
so
know. Do you think guys that are controlling, they're insecure, or they're just they've never had control of themselves or their lives, and they just want to control other people? I mean,
I mean, I think guys that are controlling, there's different types. You have the guy who's insecure
uh
and
huh.
wants to control a situation. You have the guy who's had past life experiences where maybe he experienced something that he wishes he could have controlled but he wasn't there.
Uh huh.
There's lots of different reasons for guys to be controlling. I don't think it's very good, but I don't think anybody should be controlling over anything.
Yeah.
And maybe they're like overconfident and they think the person they're with is like a dingbat or something.
Yeah. Have you ever
Like
had that?
they're no, I don't think so.
Never had someone like try to tell you what to do, or think that they're smarter than you and try to like control your situation.
As far as smarter than me, no. But try to tell me what to do,
Uh
yeah. It was like get home from work and I want to relax, and they'd be like, "Oh, you can't do that. You
uh
need to do this." It's like, watch me.
yeah.
Like I'm tired. You're not telling me what to do.
Yeah.
So, in that aspect, I guess yes.
Yeah, I've had the other part of it where someone didn't try to tell me what to do, but they thought they were smarter than me, and they thought they could run games and outwit me, and I'm just like, no, you're not gonna do that. I see what's going on, just be honest, and then if it's not gonna work out, it's not gonna work out. Can't force it.
Yeah. Whenever I notice a girl playing a game, I just play along and I just drop it on them.
Yeah, that
I don't
works
waste
too.
my time.
That works well too.
I like to make a fool out of them.
Yeah,
I guess maybe I'm spiteful, but who gives a shit?
yeah. Uh, I don't know. It happens.
Games are annoying as hell to me, dude. I just don't like them.
Yeah, they're still pretty prevalent too. That's
Yeah,
a sad thing. You think
it's
we're
just
grown
immaturity.
adults?
Sorry.
Yeah, no. You think we're grown adults, but we're really not. It's still going on.
Well, I like to see. I think that some of us have grown up.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on your perspective. Depends on how you deal with people and that whole situation.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else you got?
I So 5 fictional men she wishes you were like. Which
Like,
I haven't read these books or watched the movies, but I'm pretty sure you have.
no,
Come on,
I think
you like these kind of movies.
I saw one, but we've talked about that the Notebook thing. I don't even know
Yeah.
the guy's name, but I just know that's a common movie.
Yeah. Well, the first one on the list is the Mr. Darcy from Pride and Prejudice. Have you ever seen that?
Nope.
I haven't seen it either.
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's a novel. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But apparently, the reason that girls love him is because the leading man in Jane Austen's classic novel is a giant prick at first, but eventually he does the right thing and lets his guard down.
So he changes.
Yeah, he changes. Exactly.
Okay.
Girls want the guy that changes.
Uh
So what he does tell Elizabeth, the character in the book, is exactly how he feels about her, which women apparently love.
huh.
So you gotta, change for a girl and tell her exactly how you feel. Don't sugarcoat it.
Uh huh.
And, well, what she notes in the story is that morality is ingrained in the definition of romantic love ever since Plato defined Eros as a love of godness or goodness, whatever.
Uh huh.
So basically, she's saying it's set in stone, and those things have been around forever. And if you make a girl know that you care about her, it makes a girl want that,
Yeah,
which is
to
pretty much how all these characters are.
well, to a certain extent that works, and that might work in the movies. But I had this conversation with someone that you can get what you want, but when it comes to people, you don't always get the person that you want.
Yeah.
So, just because that's written in stone or that's what you think the situation is, doesn't always work like that.
Yeah. It usually doesn't. That's why
Uh,
these are movies and
yeah,
books.
exactly.
It's fantasy.
Yeah.
So you've seen The Notebook. I've never seen it.
Uh,
But apparently he's what, very intellectual. He's
I don't know. I've seen it.
clean. I mean,
I've seen it like I don't know, 2 or 3 times, but I've never really watched it. It was
okay.
on, but I didn't really watch it. So I know the character was in there, but I don't fucking know.
Okay. I've never seen it. All right. How about Gone with the Wind? You ever watch Gone with the Wind?
No, I've heard the title, of course, but I've never watched it.
Okay. Well, Gone with the Wind, the reason they say that women love Rhett Butler, the character,
Uh huh.
is that he's primitive and he's raw, but he's a manly man. He sees what he wants and he goes after it. You know what I mean?
Uh huh.
So when he sees a girl that he really wants, it's like he's picturing her naked and he just wants to get her naked or whatever. He just wants to kiss her. He doesn't want invitations. He's very abrupt and to the point,
Uh huh.
strong and aggressive. So, be genuine, consistent, and be turned on by her and show her, basically give her attention.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what all this is. Just be strong, put her at the center of the universe, let her feel that she has a way of shaping you, and make her feel happy about herself.
Uh huh.
That's pretty much what all five of these characters have in common, even though I only talked about three of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I haven't really watched many of those kind of movies.
Uh, I'll sit through them, but I don't take any value from the movie because they're movies.
Yeah, but that's what women love. Like the 50 Shades of Grey. I mean, women love that book.
Yeah, they
Aren't they
love.
making a movie about it?
I don't know. They love the book, but they don't love the real life situation. Well, I mean, I can't say that about everyone, but I mean, most people are kind of turned off if you're really that sexual. Like a lot of people will be turned off.
Is it a very sexual book?
Yeah, it is.
So, like the girl in this story says, she says the reason that he's so attractive is because he makes her feel sexy,
Uh huh.
and that's basically the whole point.
That's the whole attention thing.
Is just make a girl, give her attention. Basically,
Yeah.
isn't that what it always comes down to?
Yeah. Usually, I mean, but even if you give them attention, sometimes it's not enough.
Well, then she's just an attention whore.
Yeah, that happens.
It does happen.
Yeah.
So,
What was the other one? I read the other one that what was it? The doctor from Grey's Anatomy.
McDreamy?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that one? That's one of the ones I skipped. Hold on, let me find it.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that one.
Yeah. Let's see what my notes were on that. She loves him. Women says he's dreamy. But the good doc's appeal is that he's humble and open to love. Oh, so he's vulnerable.
Uh huh.
But vulnerable in the right woman. Because apparently he's cheated on his ex-wife, but he meets a new girl and he's vulnerable and he's open and lets her feel he's trusting. She
Uh huh.
trusts him. So there you go. There's McDreamy.
So does that excuse cheating? I mean, because he cheated with his wife, but then now he's got a new girl, and oh, I'm vulnerable. It's never gonna happen again.
No, I think he admitted his mistakes and he talks about it in an
Uh.
open way and he explains why it happened.
Uh.
So that makes women feel that he's honest.
Okay.
And when you're honest and girls feel you're honest, you're trustworthy.
Yeah.
De facto, I guess.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I guess. Here's another study I read from a, what was it from? I'm not very good at this. A Purdue University study.
Uh,
The secret to better sex is to have the person you're with be your best friend.
uh,
Those are the couples 19% of the time have a better sex life and last longer.
yeah, yeah. What was it? 19%?
19%.
That's not very high.
That's not very high.
That's very low, actually.
But they said overall in the study that everybody's sexual experience went down. But like I said, the ones that said they were best friends, they said relationships lasted longer and they had better sex.
They do, they do last longer. Um, I guess it depends on if you're sexually compatible with the person you're with, but I've had a long relationship where that person was maybe not my best friend, but one of my best friends,
Uh-huh.
and that's why it lasted so long. Otherwise, it wouldn't have. If we couldn't stand each other or we couldn't actually get along when we were having problems, then there was no way it was gonna last. As many years as it did.
Well, I think that's what the studies kind of says is if you get along and you like each other,
Uh,
you're going to be together longer and you're going to be more open to trying things and have just a better overall experience with sex and the relationship itself. They
yeah,
say you usually have more communication, so you're able to talk about what you want in the bed,
yeah, yeah, definitely.
which makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Still not a big number though.
No, I don't think people get involved in relationships with people that are their best friends. Or not even friends. They're just, I think a lot of times it's just convenient. And they're,
I think it's people happen to meet, situation works out, they're attracted,
yeah,
and then they just start the relationship, and next thing you know, it went from just being a couple of dates, hooking up, to all of a sudden your boyfriend girlfriend.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people aren't prepared when they're in that situation.
Uh, then reality hits, and then it's like, well, are you going to stay? Are you going to move on? I mean, do you actually know this person? Are they good for you? Do you get along? I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't always work out well.
Yep. Hey, who do you think's more pushy into getting in a relationship, women or men?
Mm, I don't know. I think it depends, but that's a tough one because I don't nowadays I don't really come across women who are trying to push me into relationships. I used to, but then again, the circumstances were different.
Well, you probably come out stronger now, and
Yeah, I don't. I think in the past too, I was more looking for a relationship, and so maybe that's why it was more like, oh, I want to get closer to you, and be exclusive and stuff like that. But now I'm just kind of like, you know what, I have I'm busy. I have stuff going on, so I don't have time for a relationship. I let them know from the beginning. So in terms of being pushy, I know men are really pushy.
you think towards relationships?
Yeah, like, oh, I gotta get a girlfriend. I have to have a girlfriend. I've seen that. It's not all the guys, but I mean, you do see it.
Okay, well, from that, what about when you meet somebody and you're dating? Who do you think's the first to drop the "so what are we" question? Are we in a relationship? Are we casual? Ooh,
Probably. I guess I'd say women. Kind of, they usually want to know where it's going. Which
yeah.
I mean, I think that's an honest concern or honest question. Like, hey, what are we doing? Because too, if you're dating other people or if you're having sex with other people, I don't know, you don't really want to be doing all that all at one time because then you get conflicted and then you don't know when you could have been devoting time to something good, you're still fucking around with something that's bad for you and you know it. You know
Yeah,
what I
and
mean?
it's difficult. And then you make the wrong phone call or text and you get caught.
Yeah, the wrong text or you're just spending too much time with the wrong person and you could be enjoying it more and you're just hanging out with some, whatever, some piece of trash.
Because it's there and
Because it's
convenient.
there, it's convenient, and maybe the sex is good, but the person's an idiot, or the person like has I don't know, not the same qualities as the other one.
Yeah.
So whereas if you could just, kind of drop that off and stop doing what you've been doing and move towards something better, then I think that would help you grow, in terms of maturity and that whole thing.
Maturity, it's a key word.
Yeah. It
A
helps you
lot.
grow.
What's up?
I said I think the right person just helps you grow.
Yeah. The right person makes the difference.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys when it comes into that situation, they're too prideful, don't want to force a relationship, so they want the girl to make the first move.
Mm-hmm.
I know when people like want to get married and stuff, it's usually the girl dropping hints,
That's
and the
true.
guy's too shy to do it, or he's unsure of himself, so he's afraid to kind of ask the question.
Yeah.
Nowadays you have to talk about it before you even propose.
Well, I think I think that's a good thing. There's two people involved, and I think it's wise to, have that discussion with the person you're with.
Yeah,
I
I
don't,
think so.
I don't think it should be just one person because I talked to someone recently and they told me that I got married early. I mean, they weren't really young, but I wasn't really into it. I wasn't. She told me that she wasn't inspired to get married, but yet she got married and she stayed married for 13 years. So I mean, come on, you have to kind of own up to that. You can't just be like, "Oh, I was forced." Well, maybe you
Yeah,
should have spoke up and been like, "Well, you know what? This is not really right for right now." And then maybe it would have just ended and you could have been with, you could have saved 13 years of your life. That's
yeah. I
that's
was
what
in
I'm trying
a
to say.
similar situation.
Uh-huh.
Where I felt like I was pushed into it, and then when I wasn't sure about it, and then I knew I didn't want to do it, but then I already paid for it, so I went ahead and went through with it.
Uh-huh.
And then like, a week later, I was just like, I can't do this. Like, I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
Which it would have saved me a lot of money if I would have had enough balls to pull the trigger sooner, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I was young, but that's tough, dude.
Yeah, well, the thing with you is at least you recognize that and you made I'd call it a proactive decision
Yeah.
instead of waiting it out and then bringing other factors into it where you complicate it. When in reality you knew beforehand you shouldn't have married that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I've seen that too with myself in the past where people are there's pressure from the families too to get married and to have kids and you're just like no that we come back to the subject every time but
We
it's true
do.
because people like to get nosy and start putting pressure on one of the people in the relationship and it's like it's none of your business.
That's because everybody knows what's best for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't,
Yeah.
but I do.
Yeah,
It's all bullshit.
that's how it works.
That is how it works.
So you just kind of have to own up to usually it's the family or it's probably close friends too. I mean, just own up and be like, no, it's not. I've had people tell me like, oh, well, you need to find someone. It was actually my doctor. He told me you need to find someone soon because if you wait too long, she's gonna be fat and have a bunch of kids. That's what
He
my
talks a
fucking
good
doctor
point.
told me.
Good guy.
No, he's awesome, but I just thought it was funny. I was like, dude, I'm not that naive. Like I know how this works.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah, it was really funny, but that's a different generation, a different mentality. I think he's 48. He said he got married at 27.
Still married?
Yeah, he's still married. He's
Athlete?
um I don't know. I didn't go into his personal life like
Well,
that.
he went into yours.
Well, yeah, you know how doctors are sometimes.
No, I know.
But he I don't know. He still looks like he's in good shape. Still looks good, you know. So I can't knock that. But just because he did it doesn't mean I need to do it.
Yeah, well, it works for someone, in their situation doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah,
I think if you look at marriage numbers and how they're going down and divorce is so high that the new generation is changing things.
yeah, it is. I think it's more about being happy and finding someone who makes you happy and less about trying to please other people. I mean, that was one of those things. Remember that what was it, Kelly Fisher? Was that her
Yeah.
name? Okay, that whole
No,
presentation,
it's not Kelly. Yeah, it's Kelly.
uh, that whole thing was saying that people are getting away from cultural or ethnic or religious,
Religious.
all of them. They're getting away from those pairings and they're going more towards what makes them happy.
Yeah. I think if people take religion out of marriage, even, and don't make it a religious thing, people would be more happy. They'd be happily married.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get married because of their religion
Yeah.
and their upbringing,
It's true.
and they get into a situation they don't want to be in because they read a book or they were preached something their whole life, and they just assume that's the way it is.
That's very true. I know someone that they were living together and the church told the two people that they had to get together. I guess if they wanted to remain in the church, they needed to marry each other.
Yeah,
I was like, how is that any of your business?
that's nobody's business.
Yeah. You
Because they
don't.
want them to have kids so they can get more people going to the church or
Exactly.
tithing.
Yeah. It's like that's not you're not in authority over what I do with my life.
Yeah.
But people don't, they're not going to question it. They're just going to do it.
Yep. Sheep.
Yeah. It's not good.
No, it's not. I think marriage is kind of going away. I think people are happily living together.
It's always going to be there. It's just not like it used to be.
Yeah. Well, you get the two people. It's either it's a religious thing or oh, it's just a contract.
Yeah.
So those are the different ends of the spectrum. But I honestly think I know more people now that have kids that live happily together who aren't married and they're content the way it is.
Yeah.
They don't feel they need the financial or the contractual obligation to, just whatever hell marriage license and all that gives you.
Yeah.
And I just more and more I see people living together that are happy.
Yeah.
Or they're good liars. I don't know.
Oh, it's wonderful. No, it's not. No.
Yeah.
I think some of them, they just maybe that's like a younger person's dream to get married and have a picket fence. And now, if you're single or you date people or you have relationships that don't work out, over time you kind of date more people and
Hmm.
hopefully you get a broader view about what's out there and you're just like, well, maybe I don't have to get married. Maybe I need to find someone who makes me happy and, we're just together, but we don't have to get married.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good point. A lot of people go out dating to find somebody to marry. They don't go out dating to find somebody they truly love.
Yeah, to be happy.
So every time you date, like if you go on like a lot of on dating sites,
Yeah,
people list what they want and what they're looking for, and this is it and only it. And if you
exactly.
don't fit these qualities, you're not. I'm not gonna date you.
Not interested.
And it's like, how do you know you're gonna fall in love with somebody that has every one of your qualities down pat? You're not necessarily gonna get along with them
Yeah,
because they just want the. I want somebody who makes $100,000 a year or a master's degree.
yeah,
It's like, well, you can meet all those you want. Doesn't mean you're gonna click. You can go meet the guy working at Home Depot who's happier than shit, and you just hit it off.
yeah.
And I think a lot of people get hung up on that kind of stuff.
They do. I mean, a lot of people fall in love with the idea of something and not really the real thing.
Yeah.
So that's always an issue. But what was I gonna say? um, I was gonna add something else. I forget. I,
This is hard.
no, no. That's the big thing is that some of the people I've run into, they're like, oh, I want to get married, have kids. I'm like, oh, okay, that's good, but
Who you gonna marry?
yeah, don't you want to be happy first? Shouldn't that be your number one goal? Is to find someone who you're comfortable with, you can be yourself with, they can be themselves with, and then you can talk about marriage and kids. Isn't that what you really should be going for?
That should be what you're going for.
That makes perfect sense to me, but I guess I get it if I'm going out with a girl who's in her early 30s, I understand she's got the biological clock and she's got to knock a few out. Her time's limited. I understand that, but I mean, just finding someone who suits you should be your number one priority.
Yeah. I think that should be everybody's priority. And if you look back in the history of like marriage, you know, people used to get married in their teens, and then it's kind of getting later and later, and then
Yeah.
people, it's just changing. But people don't find somebody they're happy with.
No.
They want to make it a application, you know?
Yeah, I think they just want to make it official, and then it's it's like a starter marriage, starter wife, starter husband. Whereas if you really went after what you wanted and you kind of, that's why I think it's so important to date, so you get the most knowledge and the most background on people, and then you can really go for what you want as opposed to just going with what's good or convenient at the time.
Yeah. I mean, I think of like little kids who play baseball.
Uh
They get a trophy for participating. It doesn't
yeah.
matter what it says on it. They just get a trophy, so they're happy.
Yeah.
You know, it could be third place. They're happy. They don't give a shit if it's first place. They just want their trophy. And it's kind of like marriage. People just want somebody to marry. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily want the best person to marry.
No.
They just want their little shiny object.
Yeah. That's they want. I've noticed from women, they just want the title. They just, oh, I'm married. Look at my ring, and look at my wedding picture. And that's great. But damn, that divorce can be right around the corner because you married the wrong person,
Yep.
and you find out he's an
Your ring was
alcoholic.
fake.
Yeah, your ring was fake. He's an alcoholic. He's an abusive alcoholic. He cheats. I mean, just like shit that you shouldn't be involved in. You are suddenly a part of, and then you
Yeah.
have to break away from it.
Yeah. And most people won't get away.
It's difficult. I mean, people get wrapped up in it.
I gotta stop saying most people. A lot of people.
Yeah,
Too general. Sorry.
yeah. You know a lot of people. I mean, we both do. Unfortunately.
Yeah. A lot of people make the same mistakes. I mean, shit, I've made so many of them.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't learn from their mistakes
No. No.
or learn from other people's mistakes.
But
And that, go ahead.
I was gonna say people just have to learn on their own.
Yeah.
That's it.
And that's one thing I really try to do is like when I talk to people, let them know my screw ups and try to let them know so they don't make the same ones and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because they don't care. They're just gonna do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's
Yeah,
all me, 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 me.
that's how it works.
It should work that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else did you have on your list? On your
On
list
my
of goodies?
list,
Yeah.
15. All right, this is a list for women.
Uh
15 guys to avoid dating at all costs.
huh.
So, number one, the set in his way guy. So the guy
Uh
will just stick to his plan.
I don't know. I think that's a lot of men. I mean,
Yep.
most men are who they are. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, the guy's a guy. If he's set in his ways, you know.
Have you ever heard that saying that when a woman gets with a man, she wants to change him, and then when a man gets with a woman, he wants her to never change. Like he wants
Yep.
her to stay the same.
Which is funny because what I put the opposite of that was the girl that always wants to change or save a guy.
Yeah,
They just a guy wants to be content, and it's so true. You meet a girl, she's great, and you just want her to stay that way.
yeah,
You know, and then she finds every fault you have and wants to exploit it and change it, and pain in the ass.
yeah.
Okay, number two, the pick up after me guy.
There's pick up after me women too.
Yeah. Well, there are, if you're a slob, then you're a slob.
Yeah,
And the opposite of that is the neat freak girl who just needs everything spotless, who
yeah.
has a mild case of OCD.
Yep,
So, yeah.
that's true.
So there's bad in both. And then the next one is the always looking for a deal guy.
Because he's frugal,
Yeah, but it's commonly known, or girls commonly think it's cheap.
cheap. I've known people. Well, one person in particular. He had a pretty nice retirement, and he had a house. He had two homes, the gas. I mean, the cars always had gas. There was always food. I mean, that didn't look too bad to me. And he was pretty frugal, but he had stuff to show for it. You know what
Okay.
I mean? So it wasn't just being cheap
So he's
just to
being
be cheap.
smart.
Yeah, he was being smart. He didn't dress outlandishly, but he had money, but he was just good with his money.
All right, here's the breakdown of that. Be wary of men who constantly look for deals and comment on prices early in the dating process. While everyone likes a good deal, real men will not make this known when courting a woman. These are signs that he will be likely very cheap throughout the duration of the relationship.
I That's one of those things. I don't think if he wants to save money on common things that it's a problem cuz maybe he's able to splurge on bigger things.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So why waste money on brand name cereal and paper towels, and why pay more at a restaurant when, we could save up and use that money for a nice vacation for a week or two.
yes.
You know what I mean?
A week full of vacation sex. The best.
Exactly. On the beach in the summertime. You know what I mean?
So you can get rashes and everything.
Yeah, so
Boom.
you can get sand everywhere.
All right, number four. The I need to watch sports all the time guy. Now I take this one very offensively because I do like to watch sports. I don't have to do it 24/7, but if you're more interesting, I take more of an interest.
Yeah.
But then you get the girls who absolutely hate sports. I don't fucking like sports. Well,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I do.
I don't see that as much now. I mean, more so nowadays, women are into sports because they know, guys are into it.
Yeah,
That
especially football.
the
All of a
only
sudden, women like football.
Yeah, the only thing is, I don't know. Maybe I'm being out there or something, but when they know too much about football, I'm kind of turned off. I see you more as a friend and less as a dating interest.
Yeah, it's
If you're
annoying.
gonna tell me how many fucking carries, Jackson has for the Rams, I'm gonna be like, if you're gonna tell me how many completions Aaron Rodgers has thrown